All right, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahawah, BaHaSham, YAHAWASHI, BaHaSham Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity. All right, coming back with another video. Now, this video, okay, before I just use the disclaimer, okay, this is some information we're going to bring out, and I bring out the prophecies, okay. Now it says 7 dead in a brawl aboard U.S. Abraham Lincoln. All right. Now, if you know and you're paying attention to the news, you know the USS Abraham Lincoln, all right, has been deployed over there in the Persian Gulf. All right. Now this is part of this scripture. This scripture comes to mind. Okay, and there's going to be more soldiers and equipment, military equipment, going down there to that area. All right, because this war is going to escalate. All right, it is escalating. All right, this man is in a situation that he can't get out of, and we've been prophesying this for years. Okay, this has to be fulfilled. All right, this is the Northern Army, like the scriptures say. Let me see where I could find it at. I thought it was three. It could be three. That's multitudes in the valley of decision. Let's see, could it be one? Real quick, but we bring the scripture out so many times. It should be. Is it 219? No, not 219. See, Shalak. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Probably right there. I overlooked it. Well, it is right there. I overlooked it, but yeah, 2 and 20. I said 2 and 19. 2 and 20. All right. Yeah, Joel 2 and 20. All right, it's right here. I was looking at 19. All right. Joel 2 and 20 says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army." Okay, and we're in the stages of this happening right now. It is happening right now. The northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. All right, that's over there in the Persian Gulf area. All right, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. So this is the place where the Most High is leading him, where the Most High is putting him in a situation where he's going to lose his military. All right, and you're already seeing signs of it. And this is why I brought out this article. Now, this is from Mihar News Agency, which I am going to look up this agency real quick for you. Let me look this up, because this is probably news from Iran. There's a lot of things happening. So many things happening. So many things happening. Financial things happening behind the scenes that people not paying attention to, and things happening throughout the world. Fires, earthquakes. Okay, yeah, this is an Iran news agency. All right, this is a Iran-based news agency. You have Press TV, but you have the Iranians. They have a news agency. All right, it's good to get news from different places. You will not get this news right here on mainstream media. All right, and let me do this real quick. Let's do this. See if any news. pops up on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Okay, okay. So this pops up under current news. It says USS Abraham Lincoln sailors tried to jump overboard. Yeah, this is what I heard yesterday. Okay, USS Abraham Lincoln sailors tried to jump overboard as safety concerns mount. All right, so that's what's happening. Sailors have tried to go overboard amid extended Middle East deployment, and this don't look good. Okay, this is not good optics for the United States military, which is supposed to be the finest military in the on the earth. Okay, so there's multiple reports. So these were the multiple reports of soldiers jumping overboard, but from the Iranian news agency, it has 7 dead in the brawl aboard USS Abraham Lincoln. Now, what's going on the Abraham Lincoln? All right, we're going to read into it. It says, this is Tehran, August 11th. It says, reports show that a violent and bloody confrontation broke out among the crew of the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln after the carrier spent months in the region and took part in military operations against Iran. It says 7 U.S. Navy personnel have reportedly been killed and several others wounded in violent clash aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, as growing unrest among the carrier crews has exposed mounting pressure inside the U.S. military amid a prolonged deployment. The incident erupted after an advisor to the U.S. Central Command CENTCOM Chief Brad Cooper boarded the carrier to address mounting complaints from crew members following protests by their families over the ship's prolonged deployment, according to Tasnim news agency citing an informed military source. So an informed military source leaked this information. All right, Brad Cooper, who was one of the advisors to U.S. Central Command, he came aboard the ship. All hell broke loose. All right. And this is not a good sign, okay, for this is not a good sign, basically. All right, this is not a good sign for Babylon. Okay. It says the advisor was reportedly met with booze and had water bottles thrown at him while addressing a gathering of personnel. The confrontation subsequently escalated into a fight among crew members involving knives and other bladed weapons, leaving 7 personnel dead and several others wounded, according to the source. All right, so this led to violence. All right, and basically, those soldiers, those sailors, are prisoners on this floating city. All right, they're on 6 9. See 6 9. All right, it said the atmosphere abroad the carrier remains tense and unsettled. Tasnim reported the Abraham Lincoln has been deployed for 263 days and is currently operating in the Indian Ocean, where its primary mission is to enforce an illegal naval blockade against Syria. So that's how you get the news from the other side. According to them, it's illegal. It's a legal naval blockade. It says the carrier has spent, and that's not what we're being told over here. It says the carrier has spent 208 consecutive days at sea, the longest continuous deployment of a U.S. aircraft carrier in the modern era, apart from a brief stop in Oman in July. All right, so this is some new news of what's going on. All right, on that carrier. Now, let's see what we did. We go back, we looked that up, and let's go. Let's try to do another search because that's all they gave us on that. What else we got down here? So the Guardian is reporting the sailors jumping, but they're not reporting that there, there was a knife fight in which soldiers got killed. They're not going to report that because there would be a public outcry. So I guess this is the cover up. The cover up is the soldiers jumping off All right, now I'm trying to look for an article about the families. I say family protests. All right, this is from Yahoo News. Sailors on the USS Abraham Lincoln reportedly dealing with poor conditions, weak morale. Family says. Right, fiery meeting. This is from MS Now. It says in fiery meeting, military families confront Navy Secretary over family members outrage over unbearable conditions on aircraft. And this is 19 hours ago. And this has been talked about for weeks of the conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Family members outrage over unbearable conditions on aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. Corporate news reports and social media posts have revealed that more than 5,000 sailors and Marines are enduring severe exhaustion, shortage of necessities, and deteriorating living conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, last month you heard reports of them clogging up the toilets, all right, and protesting because of the conditions. All right, now the family members want answers. It says the aircraft carrier has been away from San Diego for 9 months, and it is in its fifth consecutive month of U.S. combat operations against Iran. In reporting published August 5th by MS Now, relatives of personnel abroad describe moldy showers, food shortages, and shipboard stores running out of basic toiletries. The outlet spoke with a dozen family members who warned that exhaustion and declining morale could produce fatal mistakes aboard a nuclear powered aircraft carrier conducting sustained flight operations. One parent whose stepson is abroad said she had been told that a doctor or therapist on the ship warned the crew needed to reach port before people started losing their minds. You've essentially stranded them out there, she said. Another mother said her son messaged her about locked showers and a meal that came to 2 tortillas and a half cup of rice. Referring to Trump, she said, he put our nose in a war that we shouldn't be in. All right, so you're facing dissent amongst the military family, the military families. Okay, it says family members said sailors have forced non-operational toilets, showers without hot water, laundry facilities broken for weeks, and prolonged waits for regular hygiene supplies. They described lines of an hour or more at the ship store, which was said at times to lack soap, deodorant, and toothpaste. Relatives also reported periods in which food portions were rationed. The Navy veteran father told MS Now that his son had seen holes worn through the carrier flight deck on a ship whose air wing launches and recovers combat aircraft in rapid succession. Flight deck maintenance, sleep deprivation, and the readiness of the crew are a matter of life and death. The report the reported evidence of material wear exposes the incapabilities between sustained combat tempo and the well-being of enlisted sailors and junior officers. Family members said many crew members are working punishing shifts and depending on their assignment rarely receive a day off. The MS Now report said the crew had received only 2 days off the vessel since departing San Diego. This is a schedule that has intensified the emotional strain on personnel, separated from their family, with no reliable timetable for return. Yeah, because there's no end in sight for this war. All right, this is a lot of news. This is a lot of information here. All right, and this is WSWS.org. All right, so just getting this information. This is not information that you're going to get from mainstream media, or if you're going to get it from mainstream media, it's not going to be on the front page. This is something that they're trying to bury. They don't want people to look at. That's why they keep people distracted. Now let me go into the scripture. Let me go into the scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 19. Right? And we're not even into the full on battle yet. This is just the prelude. All right, this is just the prelude. Okay. This first scripture I want to bring out is Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right, this is the Most High putting that perverse spirit in the midst thereof. All right, you have dissension amongst leadership down to the common soldiers. Okay, there's dissension in the ranks. All right, there's infighting. All right, it's not looking good for Esau, man. His whole world is collapsing right in front of him. Okay, and all this stuff that they talking about the military and putting all this money into the military, trillions of dollars into the military, but they can't even maintain what they're doing now. All right, there's friction in what they're doing now. So all the money that they're asking for is more of a burden on the people. So it's going to lead to civil wars. It's going to lead to insurrection. All right. Listen, let me go to YAHAWASHI said it the best: if Satan be divided, his kingdom cannot stand. All right, you got 29% of the population support this war. All right, while the rest don't support the war. All right, you got people that don't support the president, people that do support the president. All right, Satan is divided. Why did I do that? This is Matthew 12:26. It says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? This man is divided, man. Let me get this other scripture, and I'm gonna. This is Second Ezra 15, because we're in that time, man. People are not gonna have any regards for their leadership. People are gonna be looking to get blood payments from their leadership. All right, the people that ruled over and ruled over them. This is Second Ezra 15, and uh, 14. I'll start at 14. It says, "Woe to the world," which woe means destruction. All right. To to them, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, and that's literally what happened. They stood up on them ships, and you see what happened. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right, you put them in a messed up situation. All right, and now they're not going to regard their kings, their leaderships. They're going to have disdain for their leaders, like DJ, DJT. All right, just like they were throwing bottles at the sitcom commander, allegedly, according to the reports. All right. So that's the time that we living in. All right. That's the time that we living in. But this is a report, you know, you start scouring the internet looking for, news. There's a lot of news coming out that you're not going to get over here when you're looking at mainstream media, especially in regards to this war that's going on. So we got to go to other alternative sources. So, just keep an eye out, keep watching. Like the scripture says, watch as well as pray. All right, because YAHAWASHI is working his work. All right, he's doing what he said he's going to do. All right, even if the masses of people can't see it. All right, there's things happening 24/7. Matter of fact, before I leave, I'll get the scripture. Let's see. Let's see. How does it go? Let's see. Let's see. How does it go every day? What I'm looking for, I believe, is in the book of Jeremiah. The word day is mentioned over 2,100 times. In fact, that's another word, judgment. When you look at the word judgment, that's another way I might be able to do this. Bear with me. Mm. I can't find that scripture. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. A call hello, Yahawah BaHaSham YAHAWASHI, BaHaSham Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers pushing his word, truth, and sincerity. Until the next video, Shalom.